Hey everybody, welcome to the Fired Up with CJ show. We've been talking to Donna Hartley about her book series Fire Up Your Life, and she's just been telling us incredible stories about her near-death experiences and what she learned about self-love. And we were just in the break talking about intuition, and I wanted you to have a chance to share what you said to me about intuition.
Well, I had so many near-death experiences, and I think what saved me, especially the last two times with my heart procedures, I had to have open heart and then a TAVR. And at the open heart, it was so immediate. I was right at the point that my valve was going to collapse. And they said, you have to pick a doctor before you leave this room. I had done no research.
Mm.
And they are naming places and doctors. And halfway through, I go, stop, because I trust my intuition, because I meditate. And I said, I can't even pronounce that doctor's name, but that's the one. And the doctor looked at me and he said, I went to medical school with him. If I had a surgery or my wife, that's who I would go to. He is world renowned in the field of replacing aortic valves.
Mm.
When we stop questioning and doubting, but act upon our own intuition, that's what makes the difference. Now, when that was the one on second to the last heart surgery. Then during the pandemic, right? I think everything's great. I can handle it. I've survived enough. Oh my gosh. I went for a checkup. I wasn't even feeling it. I had no symptoms except my hands were a little cold and my feet. That's all. And when they did the echocardiogram, they said, you have to be in for a valve replacement in the next, say, 6 weeks. I was
Wow.
shocked. At first, I denied it. At first, I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with it. Come on, I've been through so much. But after a few days, I settled in. I called the doctor I dealt with before, made an appointment in a couple weeks. He had all my records, went down there, and he introduced me to another doctor that had did another cutting edge procedure. And he said, you get to choose between the two of us. There's open heart, they're called the TAVR, where they go in the groin. And I have now two pig valves in me, one and then another one on top of it. Plus, I'm a bionic woman because they put an alloy in there to hold the second pig valve together.
Wow.
I chose the second one. I had so much support around me that the first doctor did not have an ego, but he wanted the best procedure for me.
Mm.
I am grateful for that. But that is trusting that intuition. And I told my doctor,
Mm.
this is the last time I'm going to have heart surgery. It was all about me not loving myself enough. And I said, I've got it now. I got it. And I kind of looked up to the heavens and said, do you hear me? I'm listening. Are you listening? I'm okay. Because I'm saying
No more.
I love myself enough to accept all my flaws, all my mistakes, and really be kind to myself and other people.
Mm. All right, so you've talked about when you did pass, you actually said you weren't going to have the veils come shutting down, so that you could actually get clear with your past lives and the what did you say call it? The something room, the play
Oh, no, the planning room.
planning room. Okay, so what so
I
so
like play room though. That sounds better.
okay, yeah. So you're when what why are we here on Earth? Like when you actually, so you've had these experiences, extraordinary experiences that have some divine message to it, because you don't die and have these surgeries on the same day and have all these surgeries on heart stuff without having like some purpose. So when you think of yourself, well, why are human beings here on Earth, and how do you map it to your own personal story?
Well, before we're born, we go to what I call, planning room, a meeting room, and everyone on earth has people watching over them. Call it a guide, call it a spirit, whatever you want. There's a higher power, that watches over us. And you get to meet with some people you've been with in other lifetimes. Now, whether you believe that or not, I know everybody has a feeling they just meet someone and it clicks, or
Hmm.
they meet someone else and they just don't like them. Well, that's usually a past life connection. And you meet with some of those people. For example, you choose your parents.
Hmm.
Now, I argued with my mentor for at least 10 years that I would have never chose my parents, never chose my learning lesson. And I love my parents, but it was a tough life. And he said, because you had to go in at an early age and search for your own truth, you got strength. Now that I'm older, I know what he means. So in that room, you have an option of saying, okay, this is what I'd like to learn in this life. I'd like to learn unconditional love. I'd like to learn how to really speak up. I'd like to work with children and be a teacher and guide young people. You kind of choose that. And then you choose the parents and maybe a location or a start to give you a, um, a way to go in life. Now, you have a plan that kind of goes straight up like this. But guess what? None of us do that. We go off it, then we come back. Then we go off it, then we come back. Then we go off. That's why those little learning lessons are there. We go off it and we come back.
Hmm.
Okay, did you ask me more besides that? The question I just
Yeah,
answered that.
no, sure. So, no, I have a question for you. You were saying that you have abilities to figure out someone's life plan. So, if could you tune in to me and show people what kinds of things? Because I know when you go to East West Bookstore that you do offer readings. So, can you demonstrate how you could find out why
Okay.
I'm here on Earth, um, why I chose my parents, and maybe my life lessons, I guess. I'm not sure exactly
Okay.
how
Have you
you.
ever done past life reading? Have you?
A long time ago, yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to need, and I just kind of like little notes on the side here. So if I look away, okay.
So mine's it's Mildred C.J. Liu is my
Okay.
my maiden name,
CJ Lou. Yeah, I want.
and
Okay.
my birthday is February 15th, 1963, in Beaumont, Texas, and so in the United States. And just for people who aren't familiar with this, is this to access my Akashic record or
Yes.
okay?
Everybody has records, just
Hmm.
like in computers. You keep files. So it's just like that, except it kind of like in the ethers. And I have to have permission to go in and access those Akashic records. That's why I asked for this lifetime, what you came in as, what your name was, the date of birth, and that gives me permission. When you give me that, that gives me permission. And by the way, once I'm done with it, and you can ask a question or two at the end, I never remember the information. It's called total release. So that means it's channeled. And I don't remember that information. If I talk to you 5 days later, I don't remember it because it's not mine.
Got it.
But my goal is to always say, here is this lifetime. And by the way, Texas was not a match for you when you came in. It was just I already picked it up. It was just a place for you to go to start off your life and to get your solid ground. But you weren't going to end up there in your life.
Yes, that's
So,
true.
how old were you when you left that area?
3 years old.
See, yep, okay. It's easy to pick up because it was just the place to start, but it wasn't the place that you were going to stay. Okay, so
Okay.
let me get quiet and then I'm going to start. And then I'm going to ask you to say all these three again, the date, your name, and the location.
Okay,
Okay.
and then I'm going to close this segment and we'll start the next segment with the reading. Is that appropriate?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Go,
All right.
go
So let
fast.
me close. So we've been talking to Donna Hartley, and in the next segment, she's going to be sharing how because the veil is not hasn't been come down yet, she can go into the Akashic records and access people's past lives and Akashic records, which we're going to show you a demonstration of next. Thank you so much.
It means so much to me that you're listening to the show. Would love your support in any way by giving me comments below or to subscribe to the show or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.